Happy spring to you too. Although I wore my heavy winter coat and wool hat to walk the dog this morning, but spring is here, no doubt. Welcome, everybody. Very good to be here. Give another minute for people to join. Very glad to be here, very grateful, as always. And I welcome you who are joining now and those of you joining later to watch the recording. Hi, Diane. Oh, so good to see you. Good morning. Welcome. It is another beautiful day, no doubt. Let me know if you're here. Give a quick hello. Happy Monday. All right, we'll get started. Hi, Tanya. You're so welcome. So welcome. Good morning, Catherine. Oh, Diana, I'm sorry about your accident, and I'm glad that you're healing. I hope you have a full recovery. Good morning, Marla. Thank you. All right, everybody. Happy Monday. Good morning. A warm welcome to you. It is Monday, March 15th, 2021. And it's a special day in a way that special can mean and does mean for us all kinds of things here at Sun and Moon, strange and somber and joyful and grateful. It's the 1-year anniversary of us moving our in-studio, in-person classes to the virtual space. It has been 525,600 minutes. And we have had this full range of experience, as we all have had over the year. And it's a cause for celebration, it's a cause for grief, it's a cause for acknowledgement and recognition of all the things, the people that we've lost, all the opportunities and the events that didn't happen, the gatherings that weren't safe to go forward with, and a very deep and heartfelt sorrow for what we've all been through and what each other has lost over the past year. And also a cause for a pause and a moment and a breath of gratitude and a conjuring of strength and determination to go forward, to consider what we've learned from this experience, and to use it on our path along the way in a way that will serve us and each other. If you didn't see in your email inbox this morning our newsletter for the week, we created a sort of a memorial video that collected our experiences at Sun and Moon over the past year among our teachers and our staff. And so look for that in your email. And if you don't find it in your email, you can find it on the homepage of our website. And we hope that it helps you in terms of a healing view of this moment. The thing that I'm considering strongly this morning is the breath. It has been a year when the simple, mere process of breathing has taken on a whole new meaning. And perhaps given each of us this opportunity of recognition of how profoundly we can take the breath for granted and how beautiful it is when we recognize the great gift of the breath, of keeping us humming, keeping us alive, keeping us loving and connecting and existing in this very strange and difficult world. I was I'm reading a book about yoga history, go figure. And there was a just one little sentence, kind of a throwaway sentence given the expanse of the book, but it was talking about World War II, and the sentence was that the war affected every aspect of American life. And I thought, yes. The same can be said, and more so, of this past year living in this global pandemic. And it has affected every aspect of American life down to the breath that each one of us has taken every day, every minute of this past year. And not only in terms of the fact that COVID-19 is most dangerous for the lungs and most profoundly when it is in its worst form affects our ability to breathe. So we lived with that from the beginning of our knowledge and understanding of of the breath and its relationship to this virus. And then June came around and the murder of George Floyd happened. And then again, we have this layered on extra meaning of what it means to be able to breathe in America in the year what was 2020 and what continues in 2021. And every single breath is a privilege and an advantage and something to revel in and celebrate and be grateful for and tap into. And so, what I would like to offer this morning is a practice that's mostly devoted to the breath, to the practice of breathing. So, you can find any comfortable seat and you can take a moment to root down into the steady ground, that point where the base of your torso meets the surface of the floor, and then recognize that underneath the surface of the floor is some foundation that connects us to the surface of the earth. And beneath the surface of the earth, this vast and deep space of ground, of matter that aligns with gravity and holds us here. And then from that recognition of foundation, of solid ground, an upward rising, a beingness, an insistence of ourselves as individuals right here, right now. And what animates that insistence of us being here right now in all of its privilege and all of its strain and challenge is this constant flow of breath. So tuning into your inhales and your exhales, the feeling of energy, life force moving through you spectacularly, happening when we're not even paying any attention. And making itself known, especially profoundly when we do pay attention. So just breathing in, recognize the grounded nature of yourself, and out, recognizing the uplifted presence of you. Breathing in, breathing out. And after the next exhale, just simply begin to tip the head from side to side. And then you can add the body tipping from side to side, exhaling on the way over, inhaling up to center, exhaling on the way over, inhaling up to center. And then add your arms, reaching up, exhaling over, inhaling to center, exhaling over, inhaling to center. Pick your pace, the one that works best for you and the rhythm of your breath. Reaching with one breath, centering with its partner breath. Every breath has company, the company of the one that preceded it and the one that follows it. And no breath is taken in isolation. And yet every breath is an individual and unique entity, just like us. Not one of us exists in isolation, and every single one of us is an individual unto ourselves. Okay, come back up to center. So now we're going to amp up the breath a little bit. Take the arms up, reach toward the ceiling, make little fists, and on an exhale, take your elbows out to the side, bent at 90 degrees. So inhale, reach up, and exhale, bend out. And then you can do this as slowly or as quickly as you like. And you can put some fire into the breath, inhaling vigorously, exhaling as quickly or as slowly as you like. And you can slow it down at any given point or speed it up whenever you feel inspired. And then slowly release the arms down, take a pause, tip the head side to side, maybe swivel the torso around, and you can add some rolling undulations of the spine as you swivel around between rounds of breath and switch the direction of the circles. And then come back to center. On this breath, take your hands behind your head, lace your fingers so the palms are cupping the back of your skull. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale through the nose, turn to one side. Inhale, center, turn to the other side. And again, as slowly or as quickly as you like. Breathing in, breathing out, twisting, turning. A few more rounds. Pause at center. Relax the arms down for a moment. Swivel. Round and arch the spine. Switch directions. Back to center. And this time, same thing, lace the fingers together, cup the back of the skull, but instead of pausing at center, we'll just move straight through, twisting all the way to one side, all the way to the other. And pause, take a break, reset. If you feel like you're making yourself dizzy, go slower and resume when you're ready. And then pause at center and relax the arms. And then round and arch as you swivel the torso. So the other thing that we've learned about the breath this year is that it is the very thing that keeps us alive, and at the same time, we had to be careful that we didn't use it as a weapon. So we masked up and protected each other from this very thing that is our lifeblood. And so, what a contradiction to have to reconcile in our hearts and minds. The thing that keeps us alive could be the very thing that prevents somebody else from being alive. And so to reconcile those opposite ideas was really hard. And we're still grappling with it. Go back to center and pause and breathe. So the next breath will focus without a physical component to it in terms of moving the body. We'll just notice the breath as it arrives and departs, and we'll break it up into pieces. So for the first round of this, we'll break up the inhale into 3 parts. Inhaling 1 part, 2 parts, 3 parts, and then exhaling all the way out in one gentle, long breath. So by dividing the parts, we're just simply pausing. Inhale 1/3, a tiny gentle pause. Inhale the next third, a tiny gentle pause. Inhale all the way to the top, a tiny gentle pause, and then a smooth release all the way back out. So we'll do that again. Inhale, pause, 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 all the way back out. And continue. Inhale 1/3, pause, 2/3 pause, all the way to the top, and all the way back out. And it's an interesting thing to notice that you can do all of this without any visible movement at all in the rest of the body. So instead of instead of a dramatic enactment of it on the outside, it's an awareness and a quiet exercise inside. 1/3, 2/3 pause, all the way up, pause, and all the way back out. So somebody watching from the outside wouldn't know anything was happening. And they would be like, well, they're not doing yoga. They're just sitting there. And we know that we are absolutely doing yoga. Inhale 1/3, pause, 2/3 pause, all the way up and all the way out. All right. Shake out your arms, wiggle, stretch, move, shift. And now will break up the exhale. So at any point, if any of these breaths trigger some discomfort inside, then you have important information to stop and change it in some way. So we're paying attention to the very real physiological effects of these exercise, and we're being careful and gentle with ourselves. Not one of these is required. Not one of these is the answer to everything. Not one of these is necessary. And all of these breathing exercises are adaptable to what gives you the greatest experience and the greatest benefit. So keep that in mind. On this breath, it's the opposite. Inhale all the way up, and then exhale 1/3 pause, 2/3 pause, all the way out. Pause at the bottom, and then inhale all the way in. Exhale 1/3 pause, 2/3 pause, all the way out. Pause at the bottom. Inhale all the way up. So in the pauses, you notice, take care that the nervous system isn't going into a fight or flight or freeze response, that there's nothing wrong. So you make sure that everyone in there understands that there's nothing wrong, that the breath is there when we need it, when we want it. Inhale. Exhale 1/3 pause. 2/3 pause, all the way out, and then all the way back in. We'll do this for just a couple more rounds. Exhale 1/3, 2/3, all the way out, all the way back in. Last one. Pause at the bottom. A big sweeping inhale and a full and complete exhale. All right. Now we'll add bodily movements back in, focusing on the spine. So a rounding on the exhale and an arch on the inhale. Back and forth, as quickly or as slowly as you decide is right for you. Breathing through the nose to the extent that that's available to you. The quick bursts of inhales and exhales through the nose is called the Bhastrika breath, like bellows. So fanning a flame inside. Turning the volume up on the life force that animates us. It gives us the power and the energy to move through these days. And then pause gently, come back to center, the neutral spine. If you've been sitting with your legs crossed, you can switch the cross of your legs. And then attend to your fully lengthened upright torso, meeting the ground once again deliberately with awareness and appreciation for the work of gravity to fasten us down. And now just gently inhale, reach your arms up And on an exhale, turn to one side, reach one arm across for the opposite knee and the other hand behind you. A simple twist. And then inhale, reach up nice and tall, and a simple twist to the other side. And inhale up nice and tall. And exhale, release the arms down. Let's come into an easy fold. Just a gentle forward release over the lap. Let your head hang. Let your arms come in front of you and support you in some way with your hands either on your lap or your elbows on your knees, or maybe all the way to the floor. Let the jaw be soft and the neck be long. Make sure there's no strain in your lower back when you fold, so you're lifting up and out of your waist. And then come up halfway, turn to face one thigh, bow down over that thigh, and you may feel a long sideline stretch on the opposite side of the ribs and waist. And then walk around toward the other thigh. Bow down over that one. And then back to center. And come up and sit tall. And a few more breaths, sweeping the arms up and then releasing the arms down. Just some gentle spreading of the wings. And after being relatively grounded in terms of not going very many places for a year, we all have high hopes that we can take flight again in the months to come, in whatever way that means for you. And then release the arms back down by your sides, hands gently resting somewhere on your lap. Close your eyes, take a few quiet, easy breaths, however they arrive and however they depart, simply noticing that today, in this moment, you can breathe. And what a great gift that is. So as we measure the last year in all the ways that we possibly can, we are just making that note, laying down that acknowledgement that if we're here now experiencing this together, we've made it this far. And we'll make it the next few steps, the next few breaths. I thank you so much for joining me. I wish you health and peace, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you. Thanks, Janet. So glad you could join. Take good care, everybody.